Morning, DC Ranch golfers. Here we are on Thursday, April the 6th, and this is Masters Thursday, and you all know what that means. We all wish we were down there watching it, and if you've ever gotten a chance to go in the future, if you ever get a chance to go in the future, you ought to go. So I should tell you, people have given me a phone call of late saying, well, how fast are the greens at Augusta National? Well, I can tell you that the whole course is only cut at the heights it's cut for 1 week out of the year, and this is that week. So their greens might be running 12 on a stimpmeter, and you might be saying, what's a stimpmeter and what does it do? Well, we're trying to give you the abridged version right here. This little device has been around for 50 years. It seems like there should be something more scientific, but this is called the stimpmeter, and you can see it's got a notch down the top of the stimpmeter, and it goes in a little crevice, and then you ultimately let the ball, as you pick up the stimpmeter, roll down, and we've already done this once already. So you roll it down and it rolls out, and then you see how far it rolls that way, and then you get two more and you roll it, and you're going to roll it in both directions. I'm going to do it quickly to save time. And so you take the middle ball of it all and you put a T down there. So we're going to say probably the middle ball is right here. So we're going to put a divot tool right there. And we know from doing this in this direction, it's already run 11.5. And now we start back here, and then we roll it the other direction. And whatever the middle number is, excuse me, that was a mistake. We roll it again. And so let's say it rolls 12 in one direction and 10 in the other. The middle point would be 11. So the stimpmeter reading for the greens that day would be 11, and so on and so forth. But it gives you a general idea of what the stimpmeter does. So when people ask us, how do you get those speeds? How do you calculate them? It's this little guy right here. Secondly, I was asked on the range by two people this week who said to me, I think my grip pressure is too tight. And I said, why would you say that? And they said, well, look at my glove. And my glove's got a wear mark in the heel pad right here to where the leather's been disrupted. So I say, well, I can tell you one thing. You can grip your club as tightly as you want the rest of your life, and you will not get a wear mark on the heel pad of your glove. What this is telling us is the club is not properly placed in the fingers, deep in the fingers, in the heel pad on top of the grip. And so what happens is, because we've let it ride up into the palm, you'll start to see the grip go like this, and it's leather, and it'll get hot and it'll wear out. So don't think that your grip pressure needs to be lightened necessarily. It means that your hand placement on the club needs to be improved to where it's down in the fingers, and then the heel pad is up on top of the grip. How does that sound to you? Okay, so let's get into what's happening around at the club. So the Pride of Membership Club, somebody wrote into me and said, you know, you need to emphasize that once again, and I'll do that. Our Pride of Membership Club says we fix our ball marks and any other ball mark that's on that green. We replace our divots with sand at this point in time when we make them in the fairway. We don't need the seed anymore because we're trying to stimulate the Bermuda growth, which is our base grass. And we rake bunkers smoothly with a motion where you pull the sand back and then you fling it back out so that the mark that you made is completely level. But probably the most important one is that we as a club have agreed that we are going to play in 4 hours and no more than that, and everybody is responsible. And it's not about keeping in front of the group behind you, it's about keeping up with the group in front of you. Okay, rough. When I sent out the note during our last video, I got 136 responses. Some were verbal, but the others were kind enough to send me it in writing as to what their thoughts were. And I can tell you that 4% voted they didn't really like the rough, but I can tell you the balance, 96% said they love the rough. But we have to have a balance between what we do in the fall, winter, early spring season, which is grow the rough up to where it might be 2 inches in the primary, 1.5 inches in the intermediate, and then probably down to 3/4 to 1/2 inch in the fairway. And that's what we do until this time. And if you've been out here lately, you can see that Dana and his team are cutting the rough down because we want the sun and the heat now that it's heating up. And I say that because it's going to be 93 degrees this weekend on we go. So we want to get the sun and the heat down into the roots where the Bermuda is to awaken it and get it to be as strong as it can be so that it'll carry us through the balance of the summer season. So we've got 2 seasons here. Yes, you like the rough, but we won't be able to carry it year round because the story is that for as long as your rough is, and you remember that because of all the frost delays we had, 42, when the grass gets wet, we've got a lot of grass that we've got to get down to the roots so that we can really dissolve all that frost, and we just want to keep you in stride with what's going on. Our Desert Diamond Classic was concluded a couple weeks ago, and it was won by Randy Elliott. And when you see Randy around the club, if you give her a high five and say well done, that's great. Men's Day, April 15th, 8:30 shotgun start. It's starting to fill up, so let's make sure you get your sign up in. Closing day for ladies competition is on Thursday, April the 27th. Please sign up on 4Ts. We've got a lot of gals that are showing an interest, so we need to fill up the field as much as we possibly can for that 8:30 shotgun start. The men's roundup, first member guest of the spring, that is sold out, and that will be on the dates of the practice round on the 20th. The Friday round is a 27-hole competition, followed by Saturday the 22nd, which is 18 holes, followed by the shootout. And everyone is more than welcome to come out to the 18th green and take a look at what's going on. And that similar program would be the Stampede over competition days, May 5 and May 6. So come on out here and join us. Lastly, you can't believe that the junior program has taken off the way it is. And we're glad that we are able to have them out there on a Sunday afternoon playing the horseshoe behind us. And we don't want it to stop. We want as many juniors out here as possible. So please sign up for our Sunday clinics. That would be great. And then lastly, in a little bit more timely manner, you might see Did You Know? And that is a sheet of information that Abby puts out for you to read. And if you've got any questions regarding all this stuff, just please don't hesitate to send me an email, send me a text, or come into the office and let's talk about it. Have a good weekend. Masters is on the way. Good stuff.